So, hey, I'm Dave Kohlmeier, the problem solver. I appreciate everyone coming to the show. We have Noah, we have Steve, we have Dante, we have 3 real estate professionals. We have 1 podcaster with a bunch of tenants that don't pay their rent because of the market situation. So today we're going to find out through all 3 of you what's going on in today's market. We normally do with Steve kind of like a weekly update what's going on. But I will share one thing. I'll just start it out and then we can start talking about different topics. The first thing is I feel the economy is weird. I keep saying it's weird. I feel weird. Of course, people, I feel like the job market seems weird in Vegas. It seems like people losing their jobs and not making money. It seems there's less people on the road. Some people were saying in LA that there's no more traffic now because of the immigration situation, that there's like no one on the road because of the immigration, or people were scared. I know a lot of people were saying that the market, the guy over at one of the dealerships in Henderson said the market's purchasing is like down 40%. So I just think it's a really weird time. And then, of course, we know insurance. We hear insurance is going up. We have a lot of flooding going on. We have just a lot of turmoil taking place in society. Mm-hmm. And
but turmoil happens like every decade.
Every decade, every year or something.
Every
but
year
it seems
there's
more. Maybe I'm
something,
watching the
but
news
you're
way
right.
too much.
You're on social media too much.
Yeah, man, you need to get off social media, man.
Plus, everything is blown out of proportion now. And
You got typhoons, floods, fires, rigged elections. I mean, how much time? You can go on and on.
So, Steve, let's start with you.
This is our therapy session, right?
It is. This is my therapy. So, Steve, tell us first what you take right now in the market. What's going on? Real estate, life.
So, like you're just talking about Vegas being down and stuff. Well, Vegas is way up from 2019. Okay, we're going to see. I mean, it's not a coincidence that, the Vegas numbers started falling about 22 months ago because that's when the PPP ended, the ERC, and all the free money. So you can't compare all those years with free money to without the money. In fact, my friend works at Lake Las Vegas, one of the hotels out there, casinos. Mm-hmm. Their best day ever at the pool was July 4th, 2020. Because everybody was bringing those cards because they had the free money. So you got to look at where you're comparing it, because guess what? Everybody and everything is way up from 2019, from before the free money started, right? Mm-hmm. So when you're comparing, they're saying the casinos are way down, blah, blah. First of all, they're not way down. They're down a little bit, but there's no more free money, right? Right. And you have basically some of the same Wall Street hedge funds that destroyed entry-level housing in Vegas are now destroying the Strip, because who's running the Strip? The Strip casinos, Wall Street.
Running it.
I mean, they don't own the land under the casinos anymore. Hey, downtown is killing it. South Point's doing it, killing it. Palms is killing it.
South Point is packed.
But why?
Hey, because you got Michael Gahn down there running it. You want the Strip to come back? No problem. Get rid of those idiots from Wall Street. Bring in Michael Gahn. He'll bring every one of those casinos back to top of what they were.
So having like a local guy instead of having corporate.
Well, look at the difference. I mean, local guys versus Wall Street guys. You got the Palace Station guys. You got the Fertitta brothers, local guys. They're killing it. Then you have the Gahn family.
Real quick on the station casinos, like Noah was saying. There's my friend Carl's. His kids' friends were flying in, right? And guess where they're flying in to go to?
To where? Red Rock?
Durango Station.
Durango Station is like the hottest thing. Like my kids, they're in their early 20s. They don't go to the Strip. They go Durango Station. Local. They go to the pool. There's some night. It's not even a nightclub. It's like a day lounge or a night lounge.
So they're basically going to the local places.
Yes, it's more affordable.
So Station Casino is a good stock to buy.
And downtown is killing it. Downtown is killing it. Circa, Plaza, they got all these good deals down there. Vegas is still affordable. Vegas is still one of the best values as long as you don't go to these Wall Street casinos that Wall Street has taken over. I mean, look, you got Caesars and MGM. Look what they've done.
It's a monopoly.
So they sold that land, got all that money. What do they do with it? They bought back the stock, and now the stock's a joke. The stock's a complete joke. So you lost all that money, and then go walk in your casinos. When's the last time they've updated some of these casinos? They're garbage.
Long time.
That's the problem. That's the problem right there. It's not Vegas. Vegas is still the #1 destination in the country, too, by the way. And don't forget, Disneyland.
The corporate's basically ruin things.
It's still cheaper to come to Las Vegas than Disneyland or Disney World.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's very expensive. I just went. It was crazy. I mean, I think I spent for 3-4 years. Like, who knows, by $2,000.
And people were talking about, a lot of the Canadians aren't coming because of the tariffs. No, that's nonsense. People from Canada aren't coming because their economy is in a complete death spiral right now. Their real estate's a joke. Their cost of living is going through the roof. That's why. And a lot of these people from Canada are selling their stuff in the U.S. because they got their houses up there going upside down, and they can't afford anything out there. So that's the main reason why the Canadians are.
A question in regards to realtors in general.
But you were finishing. Go ahead and finish yours.
No, that was it.
In
Much.
retrospect, though, I mean, our economy is still better as in real estate as well, I think, than most places.
Well, you know, here you're saying like people are scared of the economy. You know what it is? It's not so much. It is the economy and part of it, but I think right now we're living in people are in a bubble of fear. That's kind of what it is. They don't know. They don't want to buy. They don't want to sell. They don't want to do anything. And God knows a lot of them don't want to work. So that's what the problem is. People are frozen by fear by simply watching too much TV or being on FaceTime. Or not be on Facebook, being on social media.
Well, I think though
when frozen by fear,
when the Fed chair will be replaced, I think that's going to make a significant difference in the real estate market.
I mean, that's going to happen. I mean, that's going to happen. We still have that's going to be May 23rd, 2026. The best we could hope for is the shadow Fed, that a guy they're going to appoint that'll shore up the secondary market, Wall Street.
Yeah.
Like today, I was reading somewhere that Trump wants to cut 300 basis points. You know what that would do to our market? It would take us from a 7% probably to a high 4s. And what happens to prices at that point?
So explain, educate me a little bit, because I don't understand all of it in regards to, all I know is you see Trump doing this little like Truth Social saying, hey, lower the rate. And he's talking to, what's his name?
Jerome Powell.
Yeah. So basically, May is when he can be changed out, right?
Right. But what it is basically, whoever they're going to appoint as a new federal, the reason I call him the shadow Fed, because he will be the Fed. So it'll be like, this is the federal chairman right now. This is Jerome Powell. Then here's the guy, Jerome Stevenson, who's going to be the new Fed chair. And he's going to say, this is what we're going to do in the market as soon as I take control of it. So the secondary market, Wall Street and all of them, they get more comfortable and they get more lax. You know, it gets better. The 10-year gets better. Everything gets better.
But do we know who would take over his position now?
Yeah. What's his name? Steven? What? We have his name already.
We'll see. Not Mnuchin.
No. I had his name yesterday.
So do you think we have to wait till May? Do you think the rate will be lower? Do you think like Trump pressing him by saying these posts, lower the rate?
But he's not doing it.
He's do it or no?
No, he's so against Trump that he's not doing it.
Is that what you feel?
That's the problem. Yes, Powell does not like Trump. Period.
You know what?
Not just Powell. Most of the people on the Fed are Democrats. They don't want they don't want him to be successful. Of course not.
Yeah.
So we don't think anything's gonna happen until May. I mean, does that basically for the market for Vegas? He'll make it stagnant, right? Like basically nothing's gonna happen.
No, the prices got it. Even
prices
when the rates
will drop.
Okay, so we
prices
have two markets.
Prices went up last month.
So we have two markets: above 500 or below 500.
Yes.
The homes below 500 went up. The ones above 500 are I'll call it a crash. 20%.
Yeah.
Because there's homes that were selling for 900 are now selling for 750. Selling, not sold. The number one home builder in America, Lennar, just dropped their prices to what?
I know. It dropped the prices to 2020. Was it 2020?
Yep, Q3 2020. And that's with $65,000
What are they
in incentives. 1.9, 2.9, 3.9, 4.9, and dropping their prices.
How much per? I go by per square foot. So what are they dropping it to?
I don't know. On their call, they just said
$200 per square foot.
Whatever the price was in third quarter 2020.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it should be around the twos then.
Well,
because we've been up to close to $300 per square foot on some of these homes.
Yeah, the bigger houses are more per square foot.
Yeah.
So it depends on their. And for a perfect example, they were selling some houses over there in the Summerlin for like, because I have a listing there, and the lady called, say, yeah, they just dropped their houses to 505 and they were 560. So.
What about those $1 million houses? The brand new $1 million houses. They were $1.1 million, $1.2 million. Then the builder called them back and said, "Hey, we'll sell." Tell them that story. That's a great story.
So I sold this one of our clients this house in Summerlin for $1.2 million and about 9 months ago, and he wanted the bigger one that was 1.9. I said, you know what, just because he was going to rent it out. I said, just do the 1.2. It's easier to rent out, less stress, all that stuff. And he's like, well, look, if you're giving up $700,000, in commission on 3%, I'll take your word for it. So I'm like, okay, and so about 5 months later, 2 months later, but about 8-9 months after, 2 months later, the builder calls and says, hey, remember that 1.9 house you liked? Well, we're going to reduce it to 1.7, maybe 1.65. You want it? Yeah, but I'll do it for 1.4. No, they won't go that low. Okay, so he calls me Steve, send them an offer 1.4. Boom, we send over for 1.4. The salesperson says, no, they're not going to take that. Don't waste your time. I go, here, 1.4. They came back, 1.45.
Yeah.
He says no, 1.425. Sends it at 1.425. He gets 1.425. So there's people that paid for that same house
1.9.
between 1.7 and 1.9. They probably paid over $2 million. I don't know. I'm sure after upgrades, some over
100%.
But 1.7, 1.9.
Yeah.
He just picked it up for 1.425.
They're just trying to get rid of their inventory. I just had a sell like that too with a new home build.
Well, they're not trying to
that
get rid of their inventory. They're trying to sell their houses. Because,
Yeah.
see, the new builders, you want to know where the prices are going? No problem. Get in your car, drive 5-10 minutes down from your listing, and ask the builders what the prices are right now. Act like a buyer. Don't go in there and say, hey, what your prices? Act like a buyer. See what they're doing. See how many incentives they're doing. And then go and pull the streets in that neighborhood and pull up on the tax record what they sold for, because all those houses had lot premiums. So they didn't sell for what it says on the price sheet, because the builders, you know, this one has 75, this one has 100. Well, all the lots are the same. That's just how they adjust the prices. So now you're going to see that a lot of these people were paying 20, 30% more than what you can buy those houses for today. New homes. And here's why, you know, people look, is the market going up or the market going down? Well, hey, you know, don't take our word for it. Just go to the builders, because the builders have no emotion on that house. You know what you're never going to hear from the builders? Oh, I just got a brand new water heater put in and I got the best air conditioner. No, it's no emotion for them. They don't have the best house on the block. Here's our house. How many people are going to pay for it? Boom, we got it sold. That's it. It's all numbers game to them. They're no emotion.
But also home builders, the builders are always is giving the best incentives and also the best interest rates.
Oh, by far.
Like 4%, 5%.
It's because they're paying for it.
Well,
with forward commitments.
The 4.9% is after the fourth year, and it's fixed for the rest of the loan. But you can start off at 1.9, 2.9, 3.9, 4.9. And here's the thing. Even at those low interest rates, they're still dropping houses, still dropping prices.
Because they can't build unless they sell what they have.
So buying luxury, this is a good time to basically buy, plus the rates are lower.
Yeah.
Well, not just luxury, anything over 550. Anything over 550 right now. I mean, you could get this. You can get that from the new home builders. But here, the new home builders are still making a lot of money, not record, but good profit margin at the prices they just dropped to. So they could still drop prices more.
And still make money.
And still make a lot of money.
But it's also because they're making the interest, because they're using their own mortgage, in-house mortgage. It's their company, right? It's their mortgage company.
Most of the time.
think that's where they're making money from?
But what it is also, a lot of times we see, you might not see let's say a drastic price drop, but what they'll drop basically is like the house, these houses, they're both the same. They're both $400,000. But this one, the lot premium is $75,000. This one's $150,000. So they learned from last time, from 2008, not to drop the prices. Now they increase the value of the lot. So they can drop the lot value, but not the price of the home. So that's another trick that they don't tell you about.
So you could go into the builder and see the price sheet, and it looks like on the price sheet, the base price, it looks like they might have been raising prices, right? But no, they've been making huge decreases, because guess what? That base price, here's a lot premium over here. Wait a minute, that's just a normal lot. Yeah, there's a lot premium.
Yeah.
Quick question for you, Noah. So I know online you're doing something a little bit different when you're buying homes in general. So even though you're a realtor, but you're buying homes kind of like an investor, how does that work with you? And tell us about your new program that you have.
You know, we've been buying homes probably for the last 30 years almost. And what we do basically, we just go in, we help people that are in difficult situations, death, divorce, or they need to sell a house and they just need a quick cash offer to close. Sometimes they need to stay there. It's a problem house. It's probate, a hoarder. You know, we just bought a house. We had 25 people in there, 25 squatters we had to deal with. And that was a lot of fun.
Your house? What? You
Yeah.
bought a house that had 25 squatters?
28 actually.
What?
Yesterday.
No.
But here,
Wow.
why do people sell so? Because it's a problem. We buy problem houses, and a lot of times people just need. People say, you know, why would people sell you a house at a discount? Well, if we've learned nothing else over the last couple of years from Open Door, last year they bought 25,000 homes, and then they resold them. They fixed them up and they resold them. So people want the option to sell their house with no commissions, no agents, just very quickly on board. And that's what we do basically.
It's a huge market. Like he said, you know, Open Door and OfferPad, all these companies and Zillow Offers, they made a lot of money for a lot of years by going in and giving these crazy lowball offers. Well, they have a high margin. Okay. So if you're selling to one of these, you know, big Wall Street companies or internet lead companies, they got to pay this person, this person, this person. Well, that's coming out of the equity. So the local wholesalers and local flippers, they've crushed the big boys because they don't have all that high margin. So now the local flippers and local wholesalers are paying more money for the houses than these big corporations were because they don't have the overhead. And that's a good example of what realtors can do to beat Wall Street is to do the grassroots. So you look at the stock prices of some of these national flippers. Yeah. They're getting crushed. Well, they got too high margins. And then when they're getting the values from these people, they're like, oh, yeah, it's worth this much. Well, they would just want to keep their job. So they're telling the national company it's worth more than it really is. These guys are going in there helping people out there in distress. What's your thing? Death, divorce?
Yeah, but really what it is, the most important thing when we talk to people is like, look, we're going to buy the house. We're going to remodel it. We give them a fair price. We have to make a modest profit. Otherwise, it stops working. But more importantly is we redevelop homes. And we don't take them as rentals. We don't sell them to investments or hedge funds. What we do basically, we buy the homes and turn them back to the community. We build high quality, affordable workforce housing. And that's really what's important, that we continue to work with the community, continue to bring more homes on the market. Because think about it, over the last couple of years, thousands and thousands of houses that were between 200 to 350,000, the hedge funds snapped them all up. And those houses are never coming back on the market.
That's right.
There was a marketing.
Wall Street destroyed the entry-level housing. And so the only hope for first-time home buyers is to finding, something like what Noah does, find a good house that needed work. And see, here's part of the profit that the owners can't do. So if an owner wanted to do what Noah did, it would cost them maybe $80,000 or $90,000 to refix the house, or maybe more, maybe $100,000, depending on the house. Just example. So if it costs the owner $80,000, it would probably cost Noah anywhere from $20,000 to $30,000 because Noah buys in bulk. He does a lot at one time, so he's able to get that bulk pricing. You can get a better deal at Costco or the 7-Eleven, right?
No, it's true. I mean, we just bought 50,000 feet of flooring. We bought a couple containers. We buy them in bulk.
So you're basically doing the cheaper the renovation.
It's not so much cheaper. It's a high quality renovation, but we buy in bulk. We have our guys. So, we have full-time general contractors. We buy in bulk. We have everything. And here, the people know they're going to be continued. They're going to have a job all the time. So we get a little, price drop on labor, on cost of, and it all works together.
If you're a laborer and you got, for sure you're going to work for the next 6 months, well, that's much better than I might have a week here. You don't know. 6 months continued work. You're willing to.
Recently, there was a marketing campaign which says got home, and then people were responding back on the Review Journal that, like, oh, this is a joke. Like, no one could afford a home in Vegas. And they were complaining in general, like, that they're priced out of the market. So I guess the question really comes down to the average person that wants to buy a home. We talk about California where the home is at least $1 million, right, in general. Even a condo, right, could be $800,000. Who really can afford that these days? If a home, I know I'm saying California. California, $1 million. If the interest rate is 7%, it's at least what? It's at least $78,000 a month of a mortgage payment, right? If it's 7%,
on $1 million,
yeah, $1 million, right? Yeah. If 7% interest rate every $100,000, it's $7,000, $7,000 to $8,000 taxes, insurance, right? In Vegas, if it's $500,000 and it's at, what would you say, 7%, a mortgage is like $4,000 or $5,000 a month. So how does the average person afford that? I guess two people are working these days.
The average person can't afford it in Vegas. Only 8%. Only 8%. So there's very few people that can afford entry-level homes. And that's his market. That's our market. That was our bread and butter. But hedge funds destroyed it. That's not my opinion.
Yeah, and what's happening now? We're starting to see the last probably 15 houses we sold this month. We're not only seeing mom and dad. We're seeing aunts and uncles, almost two families, basically living together to buy a house. That's what we're starting to see. Generational families living together to be able to buy a house,
like they do in LA.
Like the new homes have that. What do you call that? I'm about to say mother-daughter, but it's like that second home.
The Gen X.
The Gen X? Yeah. What's your take on something like that? I mean, that may be popular for the fact that if the families have to go in and together, that there's a second. It's kind of like a second home within the first home, right?
Yeah.
I think I've been into one of them.
What is that, like two
right?
structures
It's like another door that takes you to like another home inside in the one home.
There's two kitchens.
It's like a little casita. It's like it's like a room like this, maybe 500, 800 square feet with its own bathroom, own entrance, and a little kitchenette.
So it's actually good, like if you're a mother, right? The baby boomers are getting older, and you want to watch your mother or father, right, or something like that. Kind of a sad situation, but I guess that it's different because back in the day it was casitas. It was separate. Now it's actually attached to the same home.
Yeah, right. They are. They're not sometimes.
In regards to how many realtors there are locally now, we always talk about this number in general. How many realtors were there? Like, was it like 5,000 realtors, and now there's only like, what's the stats on some of that? Because I always ask Dante how she does, and Dante always says, yeah, business is good. Now, I don't know if it's just her look, or she knows what she's doing.
What is it, 15,000?
Almost 16,000.
16,000.
So 16,000 realtors.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That number's way down.
I actually joke with her all the time is that maybe all her clients are Cambodian, but then she says they're not.
No.
So she says that she's doing well and real estate's well. She's
All
doing
my
real
clients
estate.
are men. Just kidding.
Men. She always says she always gives extra bonus to a lot of the men that
Yes.
basically purchase homes.
Yes,
But
I
I
put
guess
them
here's
to
my
sleep.
question. She always says she does well as a realtor. So you guys are realtors in a long time
I
in
just
business.
go with the market.
She goes with the market.
I go with the flow.
She
If
never
it's a
complains.
buyer's market, I go with the buyers. If I seller's market, I go that way. I'm always flowing. And so I'm blessed.
Well, you're saying that realtors these days are actually doing better, the ones that are more seasoned?
More realtors made over $100,000 last year than ever before. It was like a 24% increase. I think 24% increase from the year before. So more realtors made over $100,000 last year than any year before.
Yeah, but you gotta
more
remember-
realtors made nothing than every year before either.
If you look at realtors, really, the reality is probably it used to be 20% do the majority of the business. Now it's really probably like
10.
5. No, probably 5. Last night,
5%.
Steve and I were to dinner with. Literally, we got invited to dinner last night, and it was kind of like a secret club, and everyone that you know was there. Every super top producer was like 25 of us. And it was, and you know, how's the market? The market's going to happen exactly how you think it. If you think it's bad, great. It's more than likely going to be bad.
Mm-hmm.
You have to continue to grind, to hustle, to work, and you have to have grit. Everyone in that room yesterday, except one person had 8 years, she's doing phenomenal. They've been in business 25, 30. Like, they have been in the business 30 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
But what a lot of those agents do, like you have to, as an agent, be vertically integrated in all the spaces. You have to make money off the mortgage, title, escrow, insurance, in all the pieces. And that's what the real agents that are successful, that are running a real estate business, are doing.
They're diversified basically with like kind of multiple streams of income.
Yeah, a lot of
in
realtors.
the real estate market.
Yep, a lot of realtors were gaslighted by their, some of their brokers and trainers and coaches told them, "Oh, do this, do this." Meanwhile, their brokers and coaches and team leaders were doing what Noah just said. So now a lot of these realtors are hurting because they weren't prepared. This was being set up for 3-5 years. Everyone in that room last night was doing exactly what Noah said.
And Steve, we told them 5, 6, 7 years ago, guys, get your mortgage real estate license. This is what you're going to need to do. A couple of them did, but you know what? Most of them don't want to. I don't want to do the extra work. The problem is very few people want to work. Everyone wants all the rewards with none of the work. I call it a microwave society. They want it now.
And realtors are starting to realize now, oh, you know what? We were gaslighted by a lot of these coaches. Not all. There are some good ones, but a lot of the team leaders, a lot of the brokers were gaslighting their agents because they were giving them advice that helped them, not the realtors. And that's why so many realtors, I mean, look, there's a 95% failure rate. Well, it's been 95% for 10 years. So guess what? Whose fault is that? It's not the realtors, it's who's training them. Who does that?
Well,
95%.
Yeah, but Steve, they're not going to train them. I mean, when I started real estate, I was on a 33% split, right? And then when I sold 25 houses, I went up to 50. But I had to work with the broker, and the broker was God. Nowadays, like, oh, do 3 deals and you're 100%. What?
Yeah. And the brokers, they hire people they know aren't going to be successful, right? But they come in, they jam them up for $400 or $500 here, $700 here for cards, and then they try and get their mom, brother, and sister's business,
and they're out.
Take 50, 60, 75%, and they're out in 12 to 18 months. So it's just a big puppy mill, big puppy mill. And that's why.
I don't think all brokers are like that.
No, not all, but most.
A lot of
most.
There's some good ones.
No, 100%. There's a lot of really good brokers.
Go to all the big brokerages, okay? How many of those agents are producing?
Not many.
Have the stats.
Not many.
Yeah. I would
just
less
regular
than
agents.
80%, I bet, have done less than one deal. The model now is, like Noah was saying, they don't make enough money to train. The model now is bring in as many agents as you can, charge them $100, just like a gym. So if you got 300 or 400 agents, you're sitting pretty. It's $40,000 a month for doing nothing. Why do I train?
She seems always very committed to. You're with Realty One, right?
Realty One Group.
Why are you always so committed? She seems like so.
I don't like to move around anywhere, but I don't know all the stats and stuff like that because that's not what I look into in the company. But I mean, no one bothers me. I mean, I'm 100% for a long time. I do my own thing.
But you're experienced.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's true.
Okay, no, like when you first started, did you start there?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
and
yes.
did they have
Realty
training? Okay, see, but
yeah, they had training and all that good stuff, but I also like signed up on a team, right?
right, you signed up on a team,
Yeah.
and the team trained you.
Yes.
Plus, you're sharp. Unfortunately, not the majority of the agents are not.
You
the
deal with
sharpest
them.
tool in there.
Yeah.
You
You
know
know,
most of these
yeah,
agents.
No, I know, and I actually mentor some of these for free too, like the ones that come to my office and they ask questions. I'm like, yeah, how can I help you? You know. So,
see, but that should be the broker.
yeah.
Or the
Well,
manager.
Well, the broker's there too. Yes,
Right.
yes. But my door is right next to the broker's door. That's why it's open, so people just naturally
The door is always open.
gravitate, to my room. But no, they're there. They're very, very helpful. No, Realty One Group is an amazing company.
Great company.
My broker, my managers, they're amazing. They really, really. That's why I won't go anywhere else.
I just always laugh. She always says that she's like very happy there.
Yeah.
There was a report called the Danger Report. Remember the Danger Report?
The NAR Danger
Yeah.
Report.
The NAR Danger Report predicted exactly what's happening. The biggest threat to our industry is unknowledgeable, unqualified, ignorant agents. That's straight from the Danger Report. And what was done to change that? Nothing. The same thing that was being done in 2015 is being done now. Nothing's changed.
But no one knows until they actually know stuff, And the thing is, even if you have someone mentoring you, that person has to take it upon themselves to be better. They have to want to do these things too. Just because you teach someone something doesn't mean they're automatically going to be like, oh, yeah.
Well, that's the difference because when
They
me
have
and
to
him
have the
started,
passion. Yeah.
those people, the broker would have kicked them out in 2 weeks. You know what? You're not going to cut it. You're out.
Oh.
How many brokers today kick people out because they're not going to make it? As long as you're paying that $100 a month, you're staying.
They don't care. Like you said, it's a gym.
Yeah, it's a gym. It's just like a gym, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's
No.
that is the model that works right now. That's what you got to do to make money. Because if you're a broker and you're not selling houses, you got to make money. You can't save the world. You can't save the industry. If you're a broker, you got to make money to provide for you and your family. And if that's what you got to do based on the rules you're given, what NAR's put out there and the local MLSs, that's what you got to do. It's not it's not a crack on the brokers. That's how to make money. Bring it in just like a gym.
Well, these agents, though, have to go somewhere. They have to sign up somewhere. They're the one that took the initial step of becoming an agent and doing their test and all that stuff, right? So now the process is them finding a broker. So as a broker, you can't go, okay, well, I'm going to sign you up, and then, oh, you're not producing. Oh, I'm going to kick you.
That's how it used to be.
No.
That's how it used to be.
I'll give you an example.
And guess what?
100%.
That's how it used to be. And guess what?
was
That's when they're
better.
professionals. Oh, 10,000 times better.
I'll give you an example. Like when people try to come work with us, we take maybe 1 out of 30 or 40 that want to come work for us. Why? Because that's the type of shop we run, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
It's if you need help. We're there to help you, support you. You got a concern. But if you need help writing contracts and stuff like that, you're brand new. Hey, there's a lot of great companies that I refer them to. Go over there and learn. After you do 15, 20 deals, come back and talk to me.
You're the more advanced.
Because you don't have time
You're
for the
more
people with the
advanced
contracts.
Well, here's what it is.
Yeah.
What we teach our agents. Like I've got 18, 19-year-olds, millionaires that work for me.
Yeah.
I mean, multiple.
There's just a perfect example. A lot of people talk about the younger generation being lazy and unmotivated. Well, yeah, they're lazy and unmotivated because look what you're offering them. You just get them out of college with $300,000 or $400,000 debt. You told them this, you told them that. Everything you told them was a lie. Well, we had several. Noah's got several. What he's talking about is these young kids that were not motivated, didn't have any hope. Noah showed them, oh, wait, if you do this, you're going to make money. You're going to be successful. You're going to be able to meet your dreams. This is what you want. This is how you get there. Guess what? Every single one of them are in there every day, 7 to 7:30, and they're leaving after me.
Yeah.
So they're in there. They're motivated. These kids were just, quote the stereotype late. No. Of course, when you give someone hope and when you give someone a goal that's achievable, look at all these guys getting out of law school right now. What kind of hope do they have? ChatGPT and AI is going to destroy you. You got $300,000 or $400,000 in debt, and then you got to work 80 hours for 60 grand. How are you going to pay off that debt?
You're not.
That's why they're unmotivated. That's why these kids are like, oh, wait, you want me to go to college? And that's another thing. All this college debt, they should be allowed to BK it. What? I mean, all these, okay, so if you're a 40-year-old man or a woman or whatever, a 35-year-old, and you get a loan and you go buy a franchise or a business or something and it doesn't work out, you can BK that debt. You made a bad decision. So all these people saying, oh, well, you signed up for this. Okay, fine. They signed up for it. But first of all, they were misled They were 17 years old. Science says your brain isn't completely, formed yet for decision processes. They were told, hey, come to this school and we're going to get you a good job. You're going to make 6 figures right out. Don't worry about that $300,000 or $400,000 debt. Don't worry about that $100,000 debt. Okay, where do I sign? I signed here. Now I'm 23, 24. I got $200,000 or $300,000 of debt. You told me that I did this. I did everything you said, and now I don't have a job. And not only that, what you taught me, these employers, they don't value it anymore. So you gave me a bad service, number one. Number two, yeah, I made a bad decision. So I got to pay for this? I can't BK this? No, they should be allowed to BK it.
It's interesting you just said that.
Here, and the reason they used to be able to BK it, but all the attorneys and doctors that were BKing on their debt, and it's government debt. So you can't do that anymore.
But if they were allowed to BK, guess what? Those colleges wouldn't be offering the crap services that they're doing right now, right?
But wouldn't that raise our taxes, though? Come on. I don't know. I mean,
because guess what?
You have other countries that cover, all those expenses and costs for their citizens and stuff like that, right? But their taxes are like 60, 70, 80%.
We're not paying for college. No, we're saying, okay, you got a college loan. Well, they should be allowed to BK it just like everybody else.
But doesn't BK add to the national debt too?
No, because it's
it's
private money. It's private.
No, it's private money. We shouldn't be. The government shouldn't be
involved in that.
The government shouldn't be subsidizing these colleges that aren't producing what they're supposed to be producing.
They are subsidizing these
Yes.
colleges, though. So see, that money comes from where, though? Where does that money come from? Isn't
there's
taxpayers?
grants.
From nowhere, it's free money. You could just get money for free.
Just free money.
You don't have to work.
Us taxpayers are the one that's paying it.
See, when parents and students start realizing, oh, wait a minute, those kids went to college and they BK'd it, because you can't BK debt if you could afford it. So if these kids that went to like these doctors and stuff that went to school, if they were making enough money to pay off the debt, you couldn't BK it. The judge, no, you can pay this. You got what you bargained for. That's a deal. Well, in order for the BK, they have to show that I can't pay this, and I'm not going to have any future, ability to pay this based on what they told us.
But these doctors and lawyers, aren't they actually making money after
that's
school?
a unique. That's a unique situation. I'm talking. Oh, hey, maybe go ask these lawyers wasn't there a bunch of lawyers suing Harvard?
Yeah.
Because they went to Harvard, paid all this money, and they couldn't find the amount of jobs or the amount of money they were told or something like that. So,
and here, being a doctor is not what it used to be.
No.
Right.
Like I have one of my doctors, one of my surgeons. He was like, he does surgery. He probably makes a couple $100,000 a year. Or I'm sorry, maybe high $1 million. But he has a business where he sells NADs. And he's like, the surgery is my side hustle.
I see.
He's like, if I know now what I know now, I would have never went to medical school.
Interesting.
What's the NAD? NAD's the
NADs, they're like not supplements. They're things to make you younger, stronger.
It's for your cells.
TRT.
Yeah.
You're doing TRT, testosterone?
So I can't marry a doctor now, huh? Damn it.
All right, real quick, I want to share. This is interesting. So my brother works for a bank in Jersey, New York, and he set up the system for my kids where basically the money goes for college. I forgot the plan. There's a plan for college.
Yeah.
And so he's gotten my aunt and family members to, I want to say donate, give money for birthdays or for different events. So we get this little envelope that says, hey, it's donation of money, for a birthday gift. So instead of just giving the cash, it's going somewhere. But I'm always saying to myself that, everything's getting more expensive for college. So there's a good amount of money basically being saved up on this fund, but who knows what the future is. And I'm not sure if there's a penalty if you take that money out, you don't use it for education. But the future, especially I know Trump wants to create like just an online program. The question really comes down to is a program like that for the future, if all this AI is taking place, what is my kid going to school for?
Colleges are outdated already. We don't have to. All we got to do is look at all the recent college graduates. Hey, how's that computer science degree going for you? I can't find a job. Why not? Well, AI replaced them. Microsoft just laid off another 9,000 people. Yeah. Why? AI replaced them. So all these entry-level jobs that these kids, usually they're gone. And they're not coming back because AI took it over. And when you're talking about college, I mean, I don't see, 5 to 10 years from now, kids going to college in the current form because AI is going to reduce the cost of everything, including college. Imagine there's you can check out that AI school in San Antonio, the way the kids have skyrocketed on how smart they are. Mm-hmm. Imagine taking a class and, you're being taught the Civil War by Abraham Lincoln. By AI. Mm-hmm. AI is teaching this stuff, right? All the history is done by AI. And then college. Either look at all these kids from these colleges that were bragging how they got through school on ChatGPT. They didn't learn nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's what's
That's why I say don't condone.
That's what scares me. Well, it's already out there, but that's what scares me in regards to AI. But won't that affect the real estate market with basically being a regular realtor?
It's going to affect everybody, everything.
The sad thing about this is, and you're going to not laugh at what I'm about to say because it makes me a little bit nervous. AI seems to be taking over everything, whether you're a realtor, whether you're a doctor or a surgeon. So I even say to my wife, she'll say, "Oh, I want Chloe to become a surgeon." I said, "Well, AI is going to take over. There'll be a robot."
Yes.
So she'll say, "Oh, they need a doctor to watch the robot." Or they'll need one person, right? So it's kind of weird. And the other thing that scares me is that there's no more jobs.
No. So it's going to come to a point where, it's going to watch. It's not going to watch the robot. It's just going to program the AI to make sure the AI watches the robot, because everything a human does, the AI so far can do better. Name one thing.
Yeah.
A doctor, the surgery, the plumbers. We thought plumbers were safe, right? Well, now there's I can't remember what city it was on, but they have an AI robot that can go around the houses, the buildings, and detect small leaks.
And they don't have to sleep or eat.
Yep.
So what I'm nervous about the future for my children.
Like right now for doctors, like if you have something wrong with you, you could put it into these ChatGPT, Gronk, and you're going to get a more
analysis.
Yeah, you're going to get
it's pretty amazing.
And you look at all these people saying, I didn't know it was the doctor knows wrong with me. They said this. I put it in there. They said this was exactly wrong. Took it back to the doctor. Doctor said, "Oh yeah, it's a good idea." So how many of these doctors are already using the ChatGPT and stuff? A lot.
So what I'm worried about is that jobs in general for our future children. And the other thing that's kind of scary,
our future children, this is the next 3 to 5 years.
Do you think
like I said, I know it's a sensitive topic,
cyborgs? Because they're going to reprogram themselves anyway at some point.
The ChatGPT already has it. So the thing with AI, you're going to. So there's already a company where you can, and this is crazy. You can to compete with AI, you could put a chip in your head to have the same knowledge and stuff as some AI. So and like that Neuralink, right? You've seen the Neuralink. That stuff isn't what I'm talking about, but the Neuralink, you can already use your brain to move stuff. Like there's people that have limbs, and you could take the hand off and put the hand right here, and it still controls the hand over there. So the hand can still grab.
Well, it's even wilder. I was just reading. They're transplanting someone's head into another body.
Oh yeah, they're cutting.
They're cutting it off, and they're doing it with
cancer or something.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting. So I mean, how long can the brain live? 150, 200 years. So imagine every 50 years you get a new body.
Actually, that's the business to be in.
900, 1,000 years, just like in the Bible.
Those are shorter years.
With all the forefathers. No.
Actually, I think that's the business to be in. Is like body
parts. We're going to go down a rabbit hole of religion.
Maybe I can get maybe I can get a wholesaling chip. A wholesaling chip
could be.
So to your point, Dave, discovered cells that they can keep on rejuvenating in the human body. You just have to keep rejuvenating. So that's going to be interesting on that too. But as far as the AI, just whatever comes. What are you going to do about it, huh?
I know it's a sticky subject there.
But back to your kids, they have prepaid college tuition. Like the state of Nevada has a prepaid college tuition plan, and basically you're paying for college now for what it's going to be in the future.
I think I mentioned that. I didn't know that. It's like this year. Is that every state?
There's a guy, Zach Kohlmeier, our state treasurer, amazing guy.
Okay.
And he, matter of fact, if you have any unclaimed money, you can go to their website and you get money back. But more importantly, the program they have is a prepaid tuition. They do such a good job that other states bring it to Nevada so they can run it.
So you could buy now for the college 10 years from now?
Correct.
I think I did hear about it in general. Is that what happens if they don't want to go to college?
You can. There's a certain percentage you can take to. Yeah. You get the money, but you don't. Obviously, it's not going to be. The way they do it in Nevada is you pay a certain amount, and I'm not sure, is it kind of locks it in or something?
Yeah, it locks in the price now.
Yeah.
So like I did it for both of my kids. I paid for it up front, and then when they went to school, they can go to any state, UNR or UNLV, or it's also something it's called a WUI. It's like a Western exchange where they can go through all these schools and it'll be paid for. Obviously just their school, but not the books, not the stuff.
Yeah.
So that's something you recommend?
100%.
Yeah. Here, you know what? That's just one thing off your checklist.
I mean, the bottom line is, you can only hope that education is going to change for your kids in the future, that they're going to need to do something for 4 years to basically, I don't know if they're going to have a party or...
No.
Homeschool them.
Yeah, here. The reality is this, guys. The reality is this. I get a lot of young kids come to me. I'm thinking about going to school or college and this. I'm like, yeah, you shouldn't go. What do you want to study? I want to study business. I said, I'll tell you what, why don't you take that money and just burn it? You know what? You need to go into a trade, be an electrician, a plumber, a roofer. Those guys make a lot of money. I mean, I know multiple plumbing, construction, roofer, they're multimillionaires.
And to your point, a lot of these corporations are saying, hey, you know what? We're not requiring a college degree anymore because you know what? We got to reprogram a lot of these kids, depending on what college you went to. A lot of these colleges are programming kids that these businesses like, hey, this ain't going to fly. And you're not going to be the CEO in 10 days.
It's funny you say that because with my 3 kids, I have the 2 girls, the 10 and the 8-year-old, and the boy is 6. So in the car one day, I said, look, one of you guys have to be a lawyer, one of you guys have to be a doctor, and one of you guys have to be a plumber. Because we need all 3, and basically they're going to make money, right? At least we think in the future, right? So so Chloe, who's 10, says, I'll be the doctor. And then Kyle says, I'll be the lawyer, who's 6. And all of a sudden they start laughing. They say, Kyla's going to be the plumber. But the truth is, imagine a female plumbing service that females would trust a plumber, right? Wouldn't you hire a female plumber than anybody else?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Or even if they own the company, they would basically
They'd probably
the
be
brand.
more reliable.
Like most, men are not reliable. So, but it is interesting. I do agree. HVAC, plumbing, but they said even roofing, they were showing there's a robot in China now taking off the top of the roof and just, I mean, basically, I feel like we're kind of screwed.
Who are you going to sue? Who are you going to sue when the job's done incorrectly?
I know that I just talked about random topics. What are the topics that you have that you wanted to bring up that were special that are going on this week specifically?
Well, a good point about people moving too is, all these states we're seeing a lot, 15 to 20% declines in a lot of cities like Boise, Austin, just let's do general. Arizona's down, Texas is down, Tennessee, Nashville, good buys there.
Decline in population?
Prices.
Oh, prices. Okay.
Boise's a good one. Montana.
Yes.
Well, and Nevada and Las Vegas and both. Well, why? What all those states? What's the common factor of all those states? What pushed those prices up? No,
Republican.
Yeah. What's the common?
California.
That's right. All the Californians that exported their inflation to the real estate market. Well, guess what? They're having a hard time in California. The California inventory is back to the highest in 15 years or something right there. Double digits everywhere.
Tons of
the
inventory.
Insurance crisis is getting deeper and deeper in California. So now you go buy a house in California, you don't know what that payment's going to be 18 months from there. You don't know.
Because of the insurance.
Yeah, and so now people are trying to sell houses.
Insurance. That's
if you can get insurance.
If you can get insurance.
Right. And the California Fair Program is a broke joke. I mean, even if you pay all that crazy money, who knows if you're going to get the money insured? Mm-hmm. Look at these. There was an article in the LA Times. There's this older lady sitting like this in front of her burnt lot, waiting for her $586,000 check. The California Fair Program is supposed to get.
Well, here, and think about it. I mean, it goes up to what, $3 million?
Yes.
All right. What about all those houses in Palisades? Those were $3 million.
That's right. Yep.
And a lot of people that before, because of Proposition 13. They didn't have to pay increase on the taxes, so a lot of the children are in the houses. Now the house is worth $20 million or $10 million. They got $3 million if they even got it from the fair program.
Yeah.
Here's a good question for you. Actually, I went to Malibu the other day, last Saturday, and I went to, if you're familiar with Paradise Cove, and I drove, south, down the coast, and I finally saw, the houses. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And I guess the question is, I was saying, are they rebuilding? What do you think is happening?
Rebuilding. It's been 6 months. Like I said, Josh Altman is right. They haven't rebuilt nothing. And then just today, I don't know if you saw that. There's $100 million. Gavin Newsom was trying to get $100 million to rebuild low income in the Pacific Palisades. Is one of the places. Yeah, so all those conspiracy theorists about Pacific Palisades and Altadena, guess what? You were right. You were right. It's only 6 months.
The low cost housing that he wanted to build.
Yeah, the 100. It's in all the newspapers today in California. They want $100 million. Well, what about the people trying to rebuild? Well, they're slow boating the permits, and the people are just getting so frustrated. Like, you know what? A lot of those people, like Noah said, they don't have big pockets. Mm-hmm. They're like, you know what? We'll just sell it. So these developers are coming in, swooping, getting super good deals, 50, 60, 70, 20 cents on the dollar.
Is this an inside deal, maybe?
But do you know that Gavin and Newsom, he has a group that's been buying up all these properties too? Y'all know that, right? There's 3 of them.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
I did not know that.
He's part of
I could
a
either
private
confirm
group
or deny that I have any knowledge of that.
Oh, boy.
By the way, it was interesting when I was driving through. It was weird because it looked like a war zone. And then you see people parking on the side of these $1 million homes. like going through the vacant lots to get to the
Really?
beach to basically like enjoy the beach. And then they have some tents, they have like the tents pop.
So it hasn't been cleaned up yet?
It's kind of
Because
a
it
mess
hasn't
down
been
there. I saw some cars still burnt out, along the coast.
Really?
But basically it was weird to see people like you park on the side of the road and they just walk through like someone's, vacant house or empty lot to go to the beach in Malibu,
Yeah.
Like this, once the home was $20 million and now someone's walking through, having their little rainbow tent.
What happened to we're going to fast track everything. We're going to get these permits out to you. You're going to be rebuild real quick.
Look at Maui.
Yes.
Same thing.
Yes.
So the bottom line is you think there's going to be very, very slow to get anything done and people are going to just take the insurance money and just go somewhere else.
Yes.
But those properties that are beautiful along that coast, was it going to take 5, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years?
The ones on the beach, they might never be rebuilt because they're going to make it, the California Coastal Commission is going to make it so hard to rebuild. Look at, what's her name? Suzanne Summers and her husband tried to do something and it took them like 7 years. They just said the heck with it and they left. They sold it. Well, now all these people trying to rebuild.
Good
and
luck.
Yeah, good luck with that, bro.
The new the California regulations are so difficult. Like right now, a lot in the city, we have a lot of people coming from California because they're so busy. They have code enforcement people from California coming down here. And they're like, no, that has to be the code this way. I'm like, that's not Nevada code. Mm-hmm. Well, that's the way we do it. And they're trying to bring a lot of the things they have there here, and you have to just clarify it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
See,
And you think these people
California Sri Lanka.
California is a shit show, dude.
and you're starting to
Sorry to bring you into that. I can see.
No.
you're starting
It is scary. I'm from New York, so
you're starting to see the repercussions of all their, past 5 years. Gavin Newsom is trying to change his tune. Oh, we want this, we want that. Oh no, it's too late, man. You've destroyed this place. And now these people that had their faith in him are going, well, what's going on in Pacific Palisades? What's going on in Altadena? Oh, let me tell you, the same thing that went on every other area that burned down and every other area that's trying to build houses. Same thing.
So
Regulation.
for like the longest time.
Longest time.
And the lucky if they get the insurance money, they take the money, they leave, they go to another state.
And why are those people still so brainwashed? Like, why haven't they woken up? I mean, a lot of them have that left, but the ones that are still there.
They should
well, California did.
You
take away the coast. California did become more conservative, but too little,
someone's
too
got
late,
the domain, right? Someone's got to have it.
Yep.
I got to check. WeTakeYourHome.com. I was like, they can call We Take Your Home.
WeTakeYourHome.com.
WeTakeYourHome.com.
Oh, we take your home.
No, that's the government.
That's the government.
That's the government.
All right, 6 best cities as an investor, a real estate investor, and I know that you basically travel to different cities. Someone said the other day, they text me, I'm going to take $100,000 I have and put it towards a house for seller financing. I'm like, you should, for at least from my knowledge these days, take the $100,000, go to another city, $10,000 each.
That's
home.
a great question. So
6 cities.
Here are the best cities you should invest in.
Take some notes.
Are you ready? And I've invested in 18, 20 cities.
Okay.
The best city and state you should invest in is the one you're in. That's it. You know why?
Oh, the one you're in.
Because you could watch it.
Because you can watch it. A lot of times, if people say, "Well, I can buy houses in Cleveland for $35,000, $40,000, and then make them a government Section 8 program." Good luck with that.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds really, really good. And but the one time you get a $5,000 AC bill because the AC broke down, there goes all your profit, and then you have here. I mean, I was just telling you, I was dealing with squatters. And I'll tell you what, the easiest way to do it to start, if you want to start investing, especially if you're a realtor, you have to invest. No matter what you do, whatever business you're in, you have to invest in real estate, in stocks. I'm not a stock guy. I get with someone that knows stocks, but you have to buy real estate. It's not going away.
Yeah.
It'll continue. And so far right now, our laws here are still landlord friendly, unlike California. It takes you 2, 3. I had a buddy of mine, Jim. He bought a duplex in California 2 years later, and he's had to pay him like $150,000, and they're still not out. So was that a good deal? Yeah. But it depends. If the best cities to invest in, number one, the one you're in.
Yeah.
Are there other cities? Of course there are. It depends on what you want. So it's based on numbers. If you want a rental appreciation, if you need write-offs, but the best thing, find one that's where you're at, where you can go and
manage it
until you get more experience.
So I would say if a city that has rental plus appreciation, does that exist these days? Where would that be?
Sure.
Well, here's the thing. Like before, we wouldn't buy a rental property if it didn't have at least a 10 cap, right? Now, realistically, the returns are 4 to 7%. It's kind of risky.
I've seen 7. I've seen 6, between 6 and 8.
Yeah.
Quite a bit, still.
It could be.
now.
But, a lot of people are doing now, Airbnbs went away. Now they have this thing called pad splits. And one of my guys is doing a pad split. He bought a house, like a 2,000 square foot house, and made 6 rooms and 5 bathrooms. And I'm like, how do you rent? He goes, well, I go on the website and they just go in there.
Per room.
Right. They rent per room.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's hard enough having one family.
Yeah.
Imagine having 6 complete strangers living in the same house.
Yeah, that's weird.
So
Yeah, right now we're seeing
Kinda
the
like couch
Airbnb.
surfing.
Yeah.
is the Airbnb
right
for
now
Vegas?
the Airbnb,
It's
the Airbnb apocalypse.
yeah.
There's so much headwinds that there's so many things that happened that really crushed most of the Airbnbs. First of all, I think half of the Airbnbs were purchased after 2020, between 2020 and 2022. So you had all these newbies coming in, flooding the market. So the original Airbnbers, their profit margins went down because there was more supply, right? So you got a ton of more supply. Then you got these people that didn't know what they were doing.
And then regulations, Steve. Don't forget the regulations.
That's
they put
right.
on.
They did a bunch. They had a bunch of people that were coming in, hosts that didn't know what they're doing. Hey, for this, I'll just go to stay at the hotel, pissing people off. Oh, you got to pay for this. You got to pay for this. You got to do this. So the hosts were blowing it, right? And then you had people buying these houses, throwing parties. And so now that pissed off the neighbors in the cities. Now there's another big city. Beverly Hills, I think, is getting rid of all short-term rentals. So you're seeing all these areas where short-term rentals are getting
Hammered?
the cities are saying, yeah, no more. You guys blew it. And so these people can't sell them because when they purchase these Airbnbs, they purchased them above market value because they were going to get 15, 20 grand a month. So they're willing to pay way above market value. Well, now they can't rent it and get to pay their mortgage. And the prices have come down a little bit. And there's nothing they can do. So we're starting to see those goes on the market. The Airbnb is going to, it already is. It's going to start crashing this Airbnb. And then the good time to do the Airbnb would probably you start looking 3 to 5 years because what's going to happen? It's all going to clean out. It's going to come way down below where it should be. And that's when you get in. So 3 to 5 years is when you're going to start looking at Airbnb. Watch what happens over the next 3 to 5 years because most of these guys, hey, you know what? Next time you do a real estate investment, don't watch YouTube from somebody that teaches how to do an Airbnb that doesn't have any Airbnb themselves.
That charges you.
Yes.
Yeah,
and then the funny part though, remember what happened to all the Airbnb arbitrage? Yeah, these guys, this is the greatest thing ever. Come on, man. You know that's not going to last. Why would you do that?
Just to recap,
and
arbitrage
now,
means that I rent your home with the approval of me renting it out for Airbnb, right?
Most of them didn't get the approval.
Yeah, no,
They get the approval?
They
don't.
No, what the arbitrage is basically like, I pay $3,000 a month for the house as I rent it, and then I make $10,000 Airbnb it. The arbitrage is a $7,000 difference that I make, the gap.
I kept hearing Texas.
But
for that. I don't know why.
see, guess what?
Texas is-
Hey, check this out. So that people were doing that, right? And then the owners were getting notices. Hey, you can't do short-term rentals. And it kept on going. So now they're getting thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of fines. But it wasn't the owner doing it. It was the renter.
Yeah.
And so the renter,
they didn't know.
no, they knew. The owner of the house didn't know.
Yeah.
But these arbitragers that were doing these YouTube videos on it, they knew. All you got, there's no risk.
Yeah.
I go rent the
Just
house
let
from
the house
you.
go if it
I
doesn't
pay
work
you
out.
$1,200 a month for rent, but I'm Airbnb-ing it for $5-10 grand a month all day long.
And the thing about also here in Las Vegas, there was a lot of regulations put on it. Thank goodness, because the casinos put downward pressure on it. Why? Because the casinos want the people staying in the hotels, not at Airbnb. Why they have more FaceTime with the hotel? They'll go
more
down,
money.
they'll
Yeah.
eat, they'll gamble, they'll.
Yeah.
That's
Of
why.
course.
Yep. And because of the hotels, the people that do Airbnbs here in Vegas, they're actually making good money because there's a shortage of them. Not a shortage of them. There's just not an oversupply because everyone knows that it's illegal or whatever you want to call it. But there's about 8 to 10,000. I think the RJ had 8 to 10,000 or 12,000 illegal Airbnbs. Well, that makes it more profitable because now if Airbnbs were completely legal in Vegas, we'd probably have 20 or 30,000, right?
Yeah, well, I
Which
mean,
the casinos won't let happen.
Right, and there's only a certain amount of licenses they have.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
can't be
They're
apart.
not. Yeah.
They have to have a decibel reader outside of the house and a name and a contact number. No lights can be on after a certain amount of time, as it should be. These are residential neighborhoods.
So you say Airbnb is over?
It's not over. It's
Not
taken a
over.
big dip.
Yeah.
But in 3 to 5 years is when you could start making money at doing it again. Because most of the areas right now, like look at the Big Bear. Big Bear is a perfect example. I had a couple friends that were killing it Airbnb.
Everyone got in.
And then 12 months later, Oh my gosh, bro, this is a nightmare. He couldn't even cover his payment because there were so many of them.
There's a lot of restrictions, plus there's limitation of how many people inside the actual house.
Well, no, it's because everyone bought.
Oh boy,
everyone bought, and because everyone was saying how much money they're making, so they went and bought.
Yeah,
they bought. That's happening all over the country. Yeah.
So
I'm going to other places that don't have a lot of regulations, for my Airbnb so far. So I'm all right.
What cities?
The other places. My other states.
She loves Bentonville. She's like home of Walmart.
I'm in Texas. I'm in Texas and Arkansas.
She's not going to tell the cities, because if people find out what cities Airbnb are successful, they're going to flood it.
Exactly.
She knows what's up.
She's Cambodian quiet.
Yeah, the last thing you want to know is I have an Airbnb that's killing it in Tampa Bay. Yeah. Guess what? Everyone that heard that, let's go do Tampa Bay, let's go Tampa Bay. And guess what? Her margins collapse.
They don't have a lot of regulations.
She's smarter than she looks.
Yes, I know.
We'll talk offline.
I don't like looking that smart.
Okay. Anything else you want to share? We got a few minutes left. Anything else that we're missing here? We talked about some random different topics, but they're interesting.
No, make sure people know if they're it's coming up. A lot of people are going to be hurting because a lot of people base their finances on 2021, 2022. We're talking about this. A lot of free money. So people purchased houses based on the free money, based on the, free money values. So if you're in that situation where the banks aren't gonna do any more forbearances, contact NOAA, especially if your house needs upgrading, because the houses right now that are sitting the longest are the ones that haven't been upgraded. Mm-hmm. So NOAA, many times will get you more money than you would on the MLS, because he's going to fix it up and get that extra margin that you can't do, because you can't, first of all, you don't have the money to do it and can't afford to do it. So they're taking the risk, they're putting in the investment, and you're going to reap some of that benefit too. The homeowner's reaping some of that benefit. Instead of taking, a $200,000 offer from, or a $500,000, $400,000 offer from one of these Wall Street, wannabe flippers, they're getting, instead of 200, they'll get 230. Instead of getting 400, they'll get 420, 430. Because that's the margin that's going to Wall Street, right? Mm-hmm. So they keep it local and they give it to the homeowner. So the homeowners are making more on that sale rather than sending that money over to Wall Street. And that's what most of these companies are. Most of these companies that were trying to do it nationally, they have stock price. They have stock, right? Mm-hmm. Their main person that they owe the people is the shareholder. So if you're a publicly held company, your main person you got to take care of,
your
fiduciary duty, correct, thanks, is the shareholder, not the homeowner.
No, absolutely
not. In fact, he doesn't have to answer no Wall Street. Yeah. He's a local guy trying to take care of locals.
And more importantly, what it is I want to talk about right now, a lot of people, especially agents, are struggling, or different people, and they're working a job at night. If you want to make more money, if you want to change your life, I'll be taking a couple of people. We're going to be training them on what we do. You'll be working side by side. There's no class, no cost, no nothing. I just want people to have grit, that want to work, that want to change their life. And we're probably going to take one or two people this next month. We're interviewing and to basically train them to teach what we do. And our average guys are making six figures. Some have made six figures in a month.
Very cool.
Okay.
And we'll introduce them to these people. All these brokers and a lot of these coaches say we got the best training. Okay. Well, how many people you got in your office that have been doing this for 5 years? How many people in your office right now that took your training that are still around 5 years? I want to meet them. Ask them. I want to meet them. And do they own their own house? Look what his people have done. 22-year-old, one of them was 23? He bought his first house when he was 20 with a pool and a Tesla. Okay. And then this other young kid, 19 years old, just bought a brand new house, not brand new house, a resale, and with the money he made from starting about 12, 14 months.
No, it's definitely impressive with the younger people. That's what I wanted to talk to you about that as well, too. But anyway, I appreciate you guys coming on the Problem Solver. I guess, the goal of the Problem Solver is to help people with problems. All we did was talk about problems, I guess. But the goal is
problems.
There's a lot of problems out there. I think I'm more stressed out now than before the show. Like, Jesus Christ, I don't know where to buy real estate. Can't do Airbnb. I can't go to another state. I got to watch my property. I got Sharia law coming.
First of all,
stay off social media. I can't drink this drink because you're saying it's too much stuff inside. That's crazy.
Just remember, this is the most important thing.
We need to stay in this room, not go in.
People always ask, should I buy a house in this market?
Okay.
Yes.
you never buy market. You're buying a house. You're not buying a market. So no matter what the market is, you could always find a good deal.
Yep.
So hey, if the houses are 800 and you can find a house for 600 in the worst real estate market ever, you get that house for 600.
Mm-hmm.
But under 550, it's difficult.
It's still possible though. It's still possible, and you got to remember, real estate. Here's the people ask me, what's the secret? Here's the secret in real estate: you make your money on the buy. That's it. You have to buy it right.
That's right.
That's it.
And you can always find someone where you can get good buy. It's just the more no's you hear, the closer you are to yes. So no matter what the market is, up, down, all around, you are going to find a seller that just wants to get rid of it, get out, and get a good deal for whatever reasons. Not even a distressed seller.
Right.
There's, I would say, half the sellers that sell way below market are not in distress.
No, they're
they
not.
just want to get out. They don't want to deal with people. They don't want to deal with nothing.
Yeah.
And who taught us that? Open Door, OfferPad, all these companies that came in 10 years ago and we're getting these crazy good deals because realtors were asleep at the wheel. Oh, no one's going to sell their house for 20, 30% under market. Well, you were wrong. A lot of them do. Why? Because they don't want to work with you.
Yeah.
By the
That's true.
way, one topic, just real quick, I want to, because we both have kids around the same age. Your kids hear you talk about real estate all the time, right? Do they ever
Every
say,
day.
what do they say to you? And I'll share with you, Chloe, who's 10, she's listening all the time, and I'm dealing with different problems. We own 13 properties, right? The pool, the filter, there's always a problem, right? But the truth is, if we didn't buy in 2009, right, I wouldn't have all this equity, right? Several $1 million. Very fortunate. So my daughter always hears me and like maybe stressing and maybe I got to work on this, meet the property managers, just things like that. She says, Dad, do you think that it's worth having? You have all these problems. You know, you own all these homes. Wouldn't it be better off to sell some of the homes in general? And it's very interesting for a 10-year-old to like listen to me on the phone. I'm like, the truth is, there's always going to be problems. Hence the problems are, right? Like you have to solve the problem. There's always going to be a problem in general. So you have to solve it. But the truth is, you have to be involved in real estate one way or the other because basically, you need a place to sleep, you need a place to be. And the truth is, that's where you can make your money in general. In the stock market, right, we don't know, we don't own the stock. We're not behind the stock. We don't know what's going on, at least with real estate, right? You can buy it, you could sell it, you could lease it, you could rent it, lease to own, Airbnb. You could do all these different things. But it's interesting for a young girl to...
She's perceptive.
Yeah, to listen to it in general. I'm just curious, your kids... Your son is what, 9?
They joke around and stuff. They know a little bit, but they don't.
They don't really talk.
No.
His kids are.
Yeah, I'll give you an example. So, I made it a point because I'd come home and I problems, this solution, this office, houses. What I started doing, because I'd be on my phone and think of these problems, I just talked to my kids. Hey, I got a problem with this agent. Here's what happened. How do you think I should do it? I got a problem with this house. And every night they'd give me this is what I think you should do. So, like the next day, after we come home and have dinner, we'd have dinner every night. They're like, so what happened? So we'd have engaging conversations. So that's the difference. Here's the problem, kind of what it is. I taught them what I did to my sons. I gave them the gift of critical thinking. They've solved problems their whole life. And more importantly, especially at that age, you get engaged with them,
Yeah, it's interesting. A 10-year-old, they're asking, tell me about your day. She's asking. I'll explain this situation in general. Believe it or not, I had both the girls here, and I'm going to send you the video. They were both here, 10 years old and 8. And I was trying to bring up things about school, like about bullying and different things. And believe it or not, I changed it to like real estate. And you wouldn't believe it, the conversations that these two were talking about real estate. They were better talking about real estate than they were about like school and bullying, whatever,
Really?
They don't want to talk about their personal stuff.
It was very interesting. I talked about car accidents and being injured. Like, what would you do if I was in a car accident? They would say, I would call 911. I would give my location. Because a lot of times as a cop, when you drive with a cop and you basically, if you're field training, you'd say, where are we? And you'd say, I'm at Lake Mead and Boulder Highway. Like you would have to know your location. God forbid there was an emergency. So I play with that game with them in the car. Where are we? And so they know their surroundings. But it's very interesting. We had a whole conversation about car accidents and real estate, and they did better than talking about anything else. I do agree.
Good.
And I'm very impressed with you, son. You've done a great job because he's involved in business. And
I have two of them.
Oh.
The older one?
You met the older one. The younger one, they're both a pill. They're both. They're in the office.
No, it's impressive. I mean,
7:30. My younger one runs the investment part of it. I think we've done a few houses this year.
That's awesome.
That we
That's great.
bought.
Cool.
So anyway, it is interesting. But the one thing I would say is,
what 1 month you did 36 or 74 something? They've done a lot. They've done a lot
homes?
helping.
We bought almost 100 homes so far this year.
Wow.
it's crazy.
How big is your group? I mean,
Ta-da!
Oh shit!
Captain Noah, Noah's Ark.
Battery. There's my live.
We're doing podcasts all 24/7. All right, we will hook up again. Noah, I appreciate getting on the show. It was hard for me to get Noah. I know I owe you money for getting Noah on the show.
That's right.
I've been telling him several years. The guy was in Texas, with the last flood several years ago, trying to get him on the show. So he got the money finally to bring Noah on.
To be on this damn show.
This is your present,
man.
You got to tell him about the Airbnb place. That's what.
So anyway, Steve, I appreciate your time as usual. Quick update. Good topics today in general. Very organic in regards to these conversations. A lot of people, I think, don't normally hear this type of conversation in general. So anyway, be careful out there. Any problems, Problem Solver 702-999-1111 or the problemsolver.vegas. If you have a problem, you want me to connect you to any of these masterminds, including Jean T, please let me know again. Thanks so much, and we'll see you in the next